Hi Vikings, Mr. Hippie here. We are going to get started on 1.2, which is solving multi-step equations. So I've got our first problem all set up here for us. So it says solve 2.5x minus 13 plus or equals 2. It wants us to check our solution once we're done. So if we're looking at this problem here, we need to, basically we want to get x by itself. So what we're doing is we are going to focus on the side with the variable. So we're focusing on this side. We want to get that x by itself. So there's a couple things standing in our way. We've got 2.5x. Well, this, they don't show it, but this 2.5 and an x, that's multiplication. And then we have a minus 13. So when we are working on solving equations, we kind of want to go in reverse order of operations, reverse PEMDAS. So we want to figure out, hey, what can I do to get rid of this negative 13? So that's a minus 13. So if you remember from the last section, we want to get rid of the stuff on that side by doing the inverse of whatever it is. So the inverse of subtraction would be addition. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 13 to this side here. Now, if you remember, we want to basically, whatever we do on one side of the equation, we want to do the same thing on the other. So let me give us just a little fence there so we know whatever I do on this side, I got to do the same thing on the other side as well. So we're going to add 13 on both sides. So what's going to happen here is negative 13 plus 13. Well, those are going to cancel out, right? And 2 plus 13, well, I know 2 plus 13 is 15. And then I know this 2.5x, well, nothing happened there, so this is just going to kind of come down. So I have 2.5x is equal to 15. So now this should hopefully look like what you saw in your last assignment. So this is down to a one-step problem now. So 2.5 times x, we undo multiplication by dividing both sides by 2.5. So I'm going to divide this and this by 2.5. Now, if you're dividing 2.5 divided by 2.5, you'll notice that those will actually cancel out, and it's going to leave you just with x, or it's going to, basically, that's going to equal 1 times x, and we just write it as x. 15 divided by 2.5, if you plug that into your calculator, you will get an answer of 6. So part of this, it wants me to check my solution, right? So what I can do is I can take my answer and I can plug that right back in here, and I can make sure that it works. So if I want to do that, I'm going to say, whoops, undo that, 2.5 times 6 minus 13 is equal to 2. Well, this we do want to do in order of operations, so we got to do our multiplication before we do subtraction. So 2.5 times 6 is going to give me an answer of 15. 15 minus 13 is equal to 2. Well, is 15 minus 13 2? Yep, so 2 is equal to 2, so I just checked my answer, so I know that it worked out fine. All right, let's try another one here. This one, I've got negative 12 is equal to 9x minus 6x plus 15. So this time, I am working on this side of the equation. I want to get the x's by itself. The difference now is I only had one x, now I got two x's. So what I want to do is I want to get everything on the other side except for my x's. Well, what I can see is I see that I have what is called the like term. So 9x and 6x, those are like terms. So what I can do is I can combine those together since they're on the same side of the equation. If they were on separate sides of my equation, then I could not combine them together. Then I'd have to get them over to the same side. And we're gonna work on those types of problems on the next section. So what I've got here is I'm not going to touch this left side here yet. So I've got negative 12 is equal to 9 minus 6 is 3x, and then this plus 15, that just comes down. So now I've got a problem similar to the last. Again, I want this x by itself. That's my goal, is to get this by itself. So I've got a plus 15. So we know the opposite of addition is subtraction. If I do it to this side, I got to do it to this side. So 15 minus 15, those cancel out. So all I have left is 3x over here. And negative 12 minus 15, so I got two negatives. That's going to give me negative 27. So now I've got an answer of negative 27 is equal to 3 times x. So just like with the last problem, we undo multiplication by dividing by 3. What's going to happen here is 3 divided by 3 is 1, so I just have 1x, or I'm just going to say x. And then negative 27 divided by 3. 3 goes into 27 9 times. Negative divided by a positive is negative. Negative 9 is equal to x. Again, if you want, you can plug in this negative 9 actually into two places, into right there and right into there. And you should get 9 times negative 9 minus 6 times negative 9 plus 15. If you plug that all in, you should get an answer of negative 12. For the sake of saving some time, we're not going to do that on that problem, but that's how you would go and solve it here. All right, and then the last problem here looks a little bit different. We got some parentheses going on. So what you're going to want to do with these types of problems is we're going to, what I call it is a double rainbow. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 2, we're going to have to distribute it into whatever is inside that parentheses. So I still have this plus 3 is equal to negative 8. Again, the x's are on one side, so I'm focusing on this side. I don't really care about the negative 8 quite yet. But the first step in any of these problems, if you have parentheses, you got to handle those first. So get a little bit thinner here. All right. So 2 times 1, 2 times 1 is still 2. 2 times negative x, negative 2x. Then I bring down everything else. So my next thing is plus 3 is equal to negative 8. So you notice that this part and this part just drop down. This 2 minus 2x is doing that part right there. So now I need to ask myself, after I've done my distributing, I need to ask, is there any like terms here? Well, I've got a 2 and a 3. Those are like terms. There's no variable with them. 2 plus 3 is 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring down this part. So I got to make sure that that negative comes with it. Negative 2x. 2 plus 3 is 5 is equal to negative 8. All right, now we're looking more like kind of what we started with. So again, we got to go in reverse order here. We got to get rid of any addition subtraction first. Plus 5, we undo that by minusing 5 from both sides. 5 minus 5 is nothing. So negative 2x is equal to negative 8 minus 5 is negative 13. And then I have negative 2 times x. I undo multiplication again by dividing. If I do it on one side, got to do it on the other. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1, so I'm left with x is equal to negative 13 divided by negative 2 is going to be, I need a calculator for that, but it's going to give you a positive 6.5. Remember, negative divided by negative makes your answer positive.